Benny Hill became one of the most recognizable figures in television comedy during the mid to late 20th century, thanks to a style built on slapstick, rapid visual gags, parody, and musical comedy sequences. The television program associated with him evolved into a global phenomenon, broadcast across numerous countries and attracting millions of viewers at its peak. Its appeal rested on a universal, language-light form of humor that relied on exaggerated physical comedy rather than complex dialogue. Yet the show's popularity also placed it under increasing scrutiny as cultural expectations shifted. What once passed as cheeky and irreverent entertainment gradually became a subject of debate, especially as audiences began reassessing portrayals of gender, sexuality, and objectification in mainstream media. This tension between widespread popularity and growing criticism forms the backdrop for understanding both the success and the eventual decline of the program, which remained influential long after it left television screens. Early life and family background. Born Alfred Hawthorne Hill in Southampton, England, Benny Hill grew up in a family connected to both commerce and performance traditions. His father worked in a surgical appliance shop, providing a stable but unglamorous household environment. In contrast, his grandfather had been a circus clown, hinting at a lineage of entertainment that would later seem almost prophetic. Hill's early education took place in Southampton, where he showed little immediate indication of entering show business. Before fame, he worked a series of ordinary jobs, including at Woolworths, as a milkman, driver, and even as a drummer. These varied experiences exposed him to different social settings and personalities, which later informed his ability to create widely relatable comedic characters. The combination of working-class grounding and inherited performance influence helped shape his observational humor, which would later become a defining feature of his television work. Wartime service and formative experiences. During World War II, Hill was conscripted into the British Army and trained in the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, where he worked as a mechanic. His responsibilities included repairing vehicles and supporting military logistics, particularly during the Normandy campaign. This period exposed him to discipline, technical problem-solving, and high-pressure environments. He also served as a truck driver and searchlight operator, roles that contributed to essential wartime operations. Later in the conflict, he was transferred to the Combined Services Entertainment Division, a unit responsible for boosting troop morale through performance. This transition proved pivotal, as it placed him directly within a structured entertainment environment for the first time. Performing for soldiers gave him practical experience in timing, audience engagement, and improvisation. These skills would later translate directly into his television comedy style, particularly his ability to perform under pressure and maintain comedic rhythm in fast-paced sketches. Early entertainment and radio breakthrough. After the war, Hill entered the entertainment industry through radio, a dominant medium in post-war Britain. His first significant break came with an appearance on Variety Bandbox in 1947, where his comedic timing and adaptability quickly gained attention. Radio allowed him to refine his voice-based humor and develop sketches that relied on pacing, tone, and auditory punchlines. However, success was not immediate or consistent. Some performances resonated strongly, while others received lukewarm responses. Despite these fluctuations, the experience proved essential in shaping his comedic instincts. He learned how to structure routines, test audience reactions, and adjust material for maximum effect. This period of experimentation laid the groundwork for his eventual transition to television, where visual performance would become central. His radio years are often seen as the training ground, where he developed resilience and learned to blend structured writing with spontaneous comedic delivery. Transition to television and early experiments. As television became increasingly popular in the 1950s, Hill adapted quickly to the new visual medium. His early television appearances allowed him to expand beyond voice-based comedy into physical performance, where facial expressions, body language, and visual timing became crucial tools. His first major television series launched in 1955 and introduced audiences to a format inspired by music hall traditions. The show mixed sketches, musical numbers, and short comedic segments, allowing flexibility in style and structure. Hill's ability to shift between characters and comedic situations helped him stand out in a rapidly evolving entertainment landscape. During this time, he also experimented with character-based storytelling, portraying different personalities in each episode. These early television years were critical in shaping his identity as a performer who could combine traditional theatrical comedy with emerging broadcast techniques. Development of sketch style and BBC-era show. During his time with the BBC, Hill refined the structure and tone of his signature comedy format. The show blended slapstick, parody, and double entendres with fast editing and recurring comedic motifs. One of its defining features was its ability to move rapidly between unrelated sketches, creating a sense of chaotic energy. Hill's collaborations with writers and performers helped shape a consistent comedic world, populated by exaggerated characters and recurring jokes. The BBC era also established his reliance on physical humor, including chase sequences, visual misunderstandings, and stylized gestures. These sketches often required precise timing and choreography, especially when large ensemble casts were involved. Although the production values were modest compared to later years, the creative experimentation during this period laid the foundation for the show's long-term identity and international appeal. Ensemble cast and recurring characters. A key element of Hill's success was his supporting cast, who helped bring sketches to life through strong character work and comedic timing. Performers such as Jackie Wright became iconic figures within the show, often playing exaggerated roles that complemented Hill's own performances. Wright, in particular, became known for his participation in slapstick routines that highlighted physical contrast and comedic timing. Writers and collaborators also contributed significantly, helping to develop recurring characters and situations that audiences came to anticipate. These characters formed a loose comedic universe where authority figures, everyday individuals, and eccentric personalities frequently collided in absurd scenarios. The chemistry between Hill and his ensemble cast allowed sketches to feel dynamic and unpredictable. This collaborative environment was essential in maintaining the show's energy and ensuring that even repetitive comedic structures remained engaging over time. Expansion into theatrical and experimental roles. Beyond his television persona, Hill occasionally explored more traditional acting and theatrical work. One notable example was his appearance in adaptations of Shakespeare, where he demonstrated an ability to perform within classical frameworks while still maintaining comedic instincts. These roles highlighted his versatility, showing that he was not limited to slapstick or sketch comedy. Instead, he could adapt his performance style to suit different genres and expectations. During this period, he also returned to radio with programs that incorporated satire and topical humor, often parodying contemporary culture and public figures. These experiments reinforced his reputation as a flexible entertainer capable of working across multiple formats. However, despite these ventures, his strongest identity remained rooted in television sketch comedy, where his unique combination of physical humor and rapid pacing continued to resonate most strongly with audiences. Moved to Thames Television and global fame. A major turning point came when the show moved to Thames Television in 1969. This transition allowed for longer specials, improved production quality, and greater creative freedom. The new format significantly expanded the show's reach, eventually leading to international broadcasts in over 100 countries. Hill's humor proved highly exportable, largely because it relied on visual comedy rather than language-based jokes. This global exposure transformed him into an international entertainment figure. The expanded budget also enabled more elaborate sets, musical sequences, and choreographed sketches. As the show grew in scale, it increasingly became a spectacle-driven production, combining comedy with variety show aesthetics. This period marked the height of Hill's popularity and established him as one of the most widely recognized television comedians of his era. Production style and visual comedy techniques. One of the defining features of the show was its distinctive production style, particularly its use of fast-motion chase sequences. These scenes were often filmed using under-cranking techniques, which made movement appear exaggerated and chaotic when played back at normal speed. This created a heightened sense of physical absurdity that became a signature of the program. The show also relied heavily on musical interludes, visual puns, and silent comedy inspired by early cinema traditions. Hill frequently placed himself at the center of these sequences, surrounded by rotating ensembles of characters who contributed to escalating comedic chaos. The combination of choreography, timing, and editing created a rhythm that made the show instantly recognizable. These techniques helped define its identity and contributed significantly to its global appeal. Rising criticism and cultural shift in the 1980s. By the 1980s, cultural attitudes toward comedy were changing significantly. What had once been widely accepted as harmless entertainment began to be re-evaluated through newer perspectives on gender representation and media ethics. Critics increasingly pointed to recurring themes in the show, particularly its portrayal of women in chase sequences and comedic framing of physical attraction. Although the program still maintained a large audience, its style began to feel outdated to some viewers. One particular sketch involving a parody of a beauty pageant became emblematic of this shift, drawing criticism for its perceived objectification. These debates reflected broader societal changes rather than a single, isolated controversy, but they contributed to growing discomfort around the show's format and tone. Decline and final years of the program. As criticism intensified, the program's production gradually slowed. Although it remained popular in syndication and continued to attract international audiences, its presence on British television diminished. Changing broadcasting standards and shifting comedic expectations made it increasingly difficult for the show to maintain its earlier prominence. Hill himself remained a central creative force, but the entertainment landscape was evolving rapidly around him. New forms of comedy, including alternative and satirical styles, began to dominate television. These shifts reduced the space for traditional sketch-based variety comedy. While the show was never formally cancelled in dramatic sense, it effectively wound down as its format fell out of alignment with contemporary tastes. Legacy and lasting influence. Despite its controversies, the legacy of Benny Hill remains significant in the history of television comedy. His influence can be seen in physical comedy traditions, sketch-based programming, and international television exports. The show's global reach demonstrated the power of visual humor to transcend language barriers. At the same time, its decline highlights how comedic styles are shaped by cultural context and evolving social values. Hill's work continues to be studied as both a landmark in entertainment history and a reflection of changing attitudes toward humor. While some aspects of the program are viewed critically today, its impact on television production, comedic timing, and visual storytelling remains undeniable. Conclusion and modern reassessment. Looking back, the career of Benny Hill sits in a complicated space between groundbreaking entertainment and changing cultural standards. His work helped define a particular era of British television, where sketch comedy, music hall traditions, and silent film-inspired visual gags could reach massive global audiences. At the same time, later reassessments of his material reflect how quickly humor can age when social norms shift. What once played as fast-paced, harmless chaos on channels like the BBC and later Thames Television is now often analysed through discussions of representation, context, and audience sensitivity. Yet his influence on physical comedy, editing rhythm, and non-verbal storytelling remains visible in modern sketch and variety programming. Rather than fitting neatly into either celebration or criticism, his legacy exists in tension between the two. That tension itself is part of why his work continues to be revisited, debated, and studied in television history. Top of form, bottom of form.